Good afternoon and welcome back to Patterson Urban Homestead. I'm Eric and I live here in Dayton, Ohio on just about a quarter-acre rented property. The house I live in is about a 850 square foot. It's a tiny little thing anyway. So I've turned our backyard or side yard, however you want to look at it. It's kind of off to the side, but it's in the back. I don't know, it's kind of weird. Into a permaculture garden and space in general. I use permaculture principles. Here we don't use any chemical pesticides or herbicides, chemical fertilizers of any kind. We only use organic fertilizers and organic pesticides when necessary. I try not to use any pesticides whatsoever, and when I do use pesticides, I only use pesticides on affected plants. Like over here I have a hazelnut tree that got attacked by aphids. I don't know why the rest of the hazelnuts didn't get attacked by aphids, but this one did. So I put some neem oil on it. Again, I try to use as natural as I can and only when necessary. So I'll tell you what, let's go start out front and let me show you what it looks like as you're walking into our property. Here, this is a dead-end street that I live on, and I just thought I'd give everybody a view of what my house looks like as you come into it. This is my neighbor's yard. I recently put some autumn olives in right here. Row of autumn olives. So this is what you see when you drive up to my house from the street. Like I said, it's your typical little house that I rent here. So this driveway and sidewalk that's here that you see is something new that the property owner put in when we moved in. It used to be dirt and gravel for the most part. So when he put this in, what occurs is down this street, when it rains, water will flow down through here and straight into the yard right here and right in through here. So at the corner where we see this screen stalk right here, water would hit that and just bounce right out. It was digging a hole. So I went ahead and filled this in with wood chips, like I have a lot of other things here, which has basically stopped that erosion from occurring. So, and then I put wood chips along the side over here on the other side of the sidewalk, so that when rain does hit here, it hits that, starts absorbing, and continues on, just slows everything down. In these rings, as you'll notice, in these rings are hazelnuts along the walk here. And before that we have some plants, some annual plants that are trying to start. We had a heck of a winter. So just to let you see, I planted some comfrey all along around this ring, as well as some other volunteer stuff that just kind of started showing up, and we just kind of let it start growing, see what comes about. Front of the house, we got hollyhock, some other perennials, There's another comfrey volunteer. It's a fig tree. Anyway. So here's an interesting, the majority of this yard is shaded, and this walk that I'm on is pretty much the delineation line. So if we come down through here, you'll see that right here it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and when the sun comes back out, we'll see where the line is. So this side of the yard gets about 2.5 hours of sunlight in the summertime. It starts over here by this tree, and then works it about 11. What time is that? It's about 11:30. 11:30 noon. It breaks the trees. Yeah, here's what I'm looking up at, right? So about 11 o'clock, we got 12, 1, by about 1:30. It's right where it is now, which is this line that you see here, but that's kind of that's where I planted grass, where the chickens tore up the grass. But that's kind of where the line is currently. And by another half an hour, it'll be over here by the hydrangeas. This side of the yard, on the other hand, gets about 7 to 8 hours of sunlight. I just want you to take note. Look at this awesome oak tree over here across the street in the neighbor's yard. Is that something or what? But anyway, as we walk through here, just put this trellis up this year. It's passion flowers growing on it with a over here I have 2 hardy kiwis in pots, just in case I might be moving anytime soon. I hope to be moving. And there's my water catchment system. Pretty simple. I pull that off in the winter time just so we don't have them freezing up. The top pipe is dry fitted. I try to use permaculture principles here. The chickens right next to the garden. Generally anything that, as you see the kale over there getting eaten up, and some of the collards are eaten up, we'll cut those, throw them to the chickens. Any food scraps, whatnot, goes to the chickens. They turn it over and turn it into soil. We then put those back in the beds, or put them in, like we have some pots here. That's full of soil out of the chicken yard. As I said, hardy kiwis, honeyberry. Got stuff from the propagation, abundant propagation that came up. I think those are mulberries right there in front. Walking over here, we have some more stuff from the propagation, abundant propagation. What are those? On the front there is a red oak. On this side is hazelnut, and then in the middle there is chestnuts, I believe. Yeah, chestnuts. In here we have aronia berries, elderberry, and what else? I don't think those didn't come up. But again, all this is hidden. This is where I keep all my junk. So I try to do everything here with on a permaculture. I try to do everything here in a permaculture frame of mind. You know, as few inputs as possible. I don't use any chemical fertilizers or anything like that. Only organic fertilizers. And they mostly come out of the chicken yard here. I do have some other organic fertilizers I will use if I find a plant struggling or something and need something that's just not, the chicken manure is just not doing it. We do not use any synthetic pesticides or herbicides. Just don't. I will use an organic pesticide only on a plant that is struggling or having issues. Generally, I'll start off with like neem oil, but I really don't care to use any pesticides if I don't have to. But as you see, our tomatoes over here are doing pretty good. There's tomatoes and tomatillos in there. Our greens have had it. Look at those poor guys. Squash is taking off. There is, I think this is a Kajari melon right there. Look at that guy. I'm pretty sure that's a Kajari melon. There's also a bunch of spaghetti squash. Again, I got some more comfrey. There's beans over here. Yeah, little Mr. Bee. You look down and through there, you'll see all those bees going at it. Anyway, so what else we got here? Oh, so back over in this corner. Back over in this corner is where I started growing black currants. There's blackberry back there too. Black currant, jostaberry. But this is where they seem to like it, is over here. Let's get up here. Yep. They're loving it over here. This is gets the first morning sun, and it gets shaded first, and they seem to like it over here. This is where they are thriving, obviously. Oh, let's get down here. This guy, if anybody's seen any of my older videos, this guy right here, before I planted him, was over here in this corner for most of the summer, and was only about yay big. And then I planted him here this year, and they are taking off anyway. Taking off. But we have some okra over here, some roselle. Those are jostas back there. Hopefully they'll take off. They're the only two that survived out of the dozen that I got. Nay kings, more nay kings here. I really like the nay king cherry. I'm hoping to propagate it if I can, get some from seed. We didn't get any nay king cherries this year. We had such a weird spring. The March, we had some hard frost, some 80-degree temperatures, and then it would freeze and rain again and snow, and it was awful. So all of the blooms from the nay king cherries fell off. So I don't think we're definitely not getting any cherries this year. I did notice that the goji berry. I did notice that the goji berry is fruiting and has some blooms. So maybe that's a good thing. And I got some green giant arborvitaes in. I'm hoping to grow those out, maybe propagate and sell. I don't really have room here to grow them as a I mean, heck, they take up most of the yard. I only got close to a quarter acre here, so. And something's been eating the heck out of her. Oh, this is my garlic. Garlic is looking good. These ones right here in the front, those are elephant garlic, or not really garlic. They look like they need to come out of the ground. The other ones are doing well. Pepper plants, it hasn't been warm enough here for them to really kick off. Holy smokes. Looks like I got a branch coming down.